Ta-da! All right, so y'all voted. Y'all wanted to see me port the 2152. So here is my 2152. It's dirty. I'm going to blow it off with some compressed air. I'm going to do this video a little bit differently than most of my other porting videos. Not really going to take the time to show you really step-by-step process, because you all seen it by now. You just want to see the results, and I get that. But yeah, I'm going to blow this off and get to work. Start building the 2152. This is the, so I had this was, I think, my second Jonsered saw. I got the 49 SP first, and I really wanted a 2153, which is, if you're not familiar with the Jonsered lineup, the 2153 is a red version of the Husqvarna 346 XP new edition. So it's a full 50 point something cc's. The old edition was, I think, 46 cc's. That's why they call it the 346. But this one right here, the new edition, brought the displacement up to just over 50 cc's. And the 2152, which is what this is, I think it's over 51 cc's because it has a 46 millimeter piston, I believe, with 32 millimeter stroke, which gives you like 51.5 cc's ish. The 346 new edition is like 50.7 cc's or something like that, 50.9. It doesn't actually cross the threshold of 51. So, anywho, whenever I put the 346 XP cylinder on this, I was remarkably unimpressed. Like, I mean, I liked it. It was a great saw, but I was like, you know what? That's really no better than the 2152, which is the Husqvarna 353. So I was like, what's the point, you know? I just spent how much money to turn this into a 346, and honestly, it doesn't perform any better than the 2152. Not really that I could tell anyways. And so, anyways, it's always been a conundrum. The 346 is a really good saw. So is the 353. And the differences between the two are so minuscule that most people can't tell the difference of what they have in their hand unless they read the side of it, you know. But now ported, everybody knows that the 346 really comes alive. But I believe so will the 2152 or the 353 as it is. So, yeah, I wasn't sure what to do with this. That's why it sat on the shelf for such a long time. It's been on the shelf in this condition for over a year. I took the 346 cylinder off of this in order for Garrett to use that to build my Craftsman race saw. And, you know, it's a Craftsman 3.3 and with a 346 top end on it. Well, I robbed the top end off of this guy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this back to 2152 configuration, which will have the 343 piston and cylinder on it. And we'll port and polish it, and we'll see how it goes. All right, it's the end of the day. A lot of stuff has happened. I went and got another Echo 590. It's blown. I got it for 40 bucks. So, but just a little recap of what I've done. I took 50 thousandths out of the squish up there and that made the combustion chamber really itty bitty, and I got a little bit worried about that. And I was thinking, I'll shoot for 24 thousandths on the squish, give it just a little bit of extra, space so that it doesn't get so hot. A little bit worried about overheating. Talked it over with Matt House, though, and he said it should be fine. What was it that I asked him? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, I asked him about the timing advance. He said these things like a timing advance, too. But I figured I'd try and, I don't want to ask people for everything specifically all the time. So my goal on this one is 106 on the exhaust and 78 on the intake. Like I said, I took 50 thousandths out of the squish, and I set the squish. I ended up with 23 thousandths, which, what's the difference between 23 thousandths and 20 thousandths? I don't know, but we're going to go for it. And I'm going to aim for 16 degrees of blowdown. So I haven't done any of the port work yet. We'll save that for tomorrow, because I don't want to do it. Oh, but I guess I should show you how I get those safety screws out of the transfers. You see that? I just cut a flat tip slot in there. I had the right Torx bits to fit that, but broke it off. It's so little, I just torqued it too much and broke the tip right off of it. And I'll get me another one of those, but for right now it works fine just cutting a slot in there with one of those. So I just cut that slot in there and use a flat tip. Works fine. But yeah, the only thing I got to do now is all the machine work is done. I'm going to port it up. I want this thing to really have a lot of torque. So that's the reason I'm doing 78 on the intake and not 84. It's the reason I'm going to do 106 on the exhaust, not 102. So I want this thing to just really get in there and bite that wood and rip. So we'll see how it works out. I'm excited about it, but for now, I'm done. I'm watching a cool movie. It's called Iceman. If you ever seen it, look at this. Ta-da! So that dude right there, his name is Michael Shannon, and he has become known. He's quite the actor. He is a cool one to watch. Pretty much anything he's in is good. So Michael Shannon, yeah, The Iceman, really good mobster movie. Later, guys.